Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Dala Alfonso, and I am broadcasting live from Omaha, Nebraska. Welcome to another episode of Private Transformation Minutes. Today is day 14 of our journey to 30 on how to develop a strong positive mental attitude. Why? Because your attitude is the key. Your attitude is the foundation to your success in life. It doesn't matter if you're in business, if you're in politics, if you're a homemaker, of a career person, whatever it is that your aspirations are, your attitude is fundamental to determining the kinds of outcomes and results that you will get. So we've been spending the last few weeks, the last couple of weeks, discussing this critical subject, and today is day 14, and we will be looking at how to act out your future, how you should act out your future. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, or if you're just joining us, please, I would like to charge you to do us a favor. Go ahead and hit the invite or share button and invite your friends and those within your sphere of influence to join today's broadcast so that we can be able to grow together. Well, today we're discussing how to act out your future. Now, in order for you to understand where I'm coming from, let me give you a little bit of a background. I'm somebody who grew up in a very poor home. I grew up without much. But fortunately for me, I had the opportunity to be exposed to a place or to an environment where I could see a picture of success, and that began to inform my behavior, began to inform my expectations. And now what that did was that it began to strengthen and teach me that it was possible to become successful, meaning that it was possible to have a better life besides having to scrape the bottom of the barrel at every single time. So naturally, I began to grow the affinity, the desire, the longing for something more than I had been used to. Now, for instance, we spent some time yesterday to talk about the power of visualization, how to harness the power of visualization, being able to create pictures, because your mind is constantly looking for information that it can translate into solutions. Now, having created those pictures, how do you actually begin to walk into it? Research has shown that the human brain cannot tell the difference between when you're acting out a thing, thinking a thing, or actually walking in the fullness of that thing. So what does that mean? It means that you can leverage that opportunity to start creating an environment where your mind becomes used to creating certain types of solutions and thinking in certain ways. So rather than continuing to think in the past and act like somebody who is behind, somebody who cannot make it, somebody who is at the bottom rung of the ladder, being able to put yourself in an environment that actually allows you to experience some of the successes that you're looking for will naturally begin to cause your mind to create roadmaps that will help you get to where you need to be from where you are. Now, what am I talking about? Number one, instead of you sitting down and hanging around with the same group of friends that aren't going anywhere, maybe it is time for you to begin to associate yourselves with the people that are already where you are or are on their way to where you are going. What does that mean? Spend more time to look at your associations, your circle of friends. Are they people that are adding value to your relationships? Are they adding value to your aspirations? Are they people who are talking the way you need to be talking at that new level? If they are not, then you need to start looking for a new circle of friends, a new group of individuals that can be able to speak what you need to hear in order for you to attain to the things that you need to achieve. So it is very, very critical for you to start acting the way you need to be acting when you get there. You are not yet there, but it is imperative for you to start acting as if you're already there. By the way you think, by your associations, by the way you dress. You need to start paying attention to the way you present yourself. Your carriage does matter. Yes, you are not yet a millionaire, and a millionaire, or some, when I mean a millionaire, let me rephrase that word. I hate the use of that word millionaire. But you're not yet the picture of success that you desire. But your clothings do not make you a success. Let me say that clearly. If you're the kind of person that believes that what you're wearing is what determines your success, then you're poor mentally, meaning that you need to start changing changing the way you think. But I'm simply saying that you need to start dressing for success in the sense that you need to start presenting yourself in a way that reflects where you are going. You have to start paying attention to what you wear. It doesn't have to be 100,000 of your local currency. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it has to be neat. It has to be presentable. It has to be something that speaks. You see, we live in a generation where people think that your success is measured by the label on your dress. That is just arrant nonsense. It's just foolishness. It just shows it's a mentality. I don't care if you're wearing something that you made yourself, as long as it is neat, as long as it is clean, as long as it's presentable. You understand? The labels do not define who you are. All right, you can afford to put in whatever labels you have. The rest, we know that it's just a mark of success. Yes, if you are looking for a group of people who will accept you just because of the kind of labels that you're wearing, then by all means, do what you have to do. But personally, I think that does not matter, because look at some of the most successful people on earth, people who can afford to wear anything they want to wear. But look at their lives. Their lives are very simple. You'll be surprised to find out they still wear the same mom and pop shop clothes that they've been wearing since before they became successful. But you see a young man, a young woman that has not achieved anything in life, does not own any real estate, no business, no enterprise, nothing going on, but their shoes alone, the hair alone, the shirt, the watch on their wrist is enough to start a business, and yet they are not even able to pay their bills. So essentially, what you're wearing does not define who you are, but it is important for you to be neat. It is important for you to present yourself, because number one, you don't know when the right opportunity will present itself. And then number two, you also have to start creating a mental picture that other people can relate to, that this person is ready for success. I remember growing up, I said, like, I came out from a family that had nothing. There was a time where I had nothing. I only had just one pair of jeans, and I had these loafer shoes. But I guarantee you, I shine those loafers. They're so neat. I iron my shirt. I am always presentable, even though I had nothing. But I just knew it was only a matter of time that desire, that dream, that aspiration that I carried inside of me will find expression. So it is very, very important for you to pay attention to how you dress. Pay attention to being tidy, being neat, all right, being presentable at every period in time. If all you have are a pair of shoes, make them neat, make them clean, polish them, shine them, do whatever you need to do so that you can look presentable at every point in time. But remember, like I said, what you're wearing does not define your net worth. All right, it is what you have established in your enterprise, in your bank accounts, in your real estate, or whatever it is that defines who you are. I will also encourage you to find groups of where, people who are already going where you're trying to go to, how they gather. You see, you may not be at their level, but if you can get into those platforms, maybe if a country club is one of the places where you can make those connections, if golfing is where you need to go, if playing badminton or squash is what you need to do, you have to put yourself in that environment. It means if you have to sign up for some of those sports, if you can afford it, do sign up. If you can't, then find ways to be around those environments, because part of the thing that you come to realize, that you begin to find out tips, tricks, you begin to develop relationships, networks of individuals who are actually going to help you do that. And now, like I started out saying earlier, you have to remember this. The human brain functions in a way that it doesn't know when you're picturing or visually picturing a thing, or you're acting it out, or you're actually living it. A lot of the times, the subconscious mind takes the same information treats the information as the same. And the moment your mind becomes accustomed to acting in that kind of environment, what happens is that it naturally begins to cause you to get the kind of results that you ought to get at that environment. So I will strongly encourage you that whatever your goals are, whatever your aspirations are, whatever your dreams are, start acting as if you're already there. You may not have the money in your bank accounts today. You may not have the enterprise already established, but begin to talk as if you're already there. Begin to act as if you're already there. Begin to carry yourself as if you're already there, because every time you do these things, it affirms to you that dream is possible. It begins to draw you closer to the solution, because your mind begins to tell you this is what it feels like to be there. Your emotions begin to wrap around those experiences and form a memory that your mind, your brain, your subconscious will always refer to say, we want this, we need this, we are determined to get this. And it's only a matter of time that you see yourself walking in the fullness of those things that you dream about. All right. So never ever forget where you are. It will also strengthen you in times of difficulty, particularly when you're going through challenges. I remember there was this day, I will never forget this. I was out in Lagos. I had nothing. I did not even have the spoke of a bicycle, much less a business. And I was walking I went to go visit somebody who I was trying to connect with. It was a businessman that was trying to help me. And so I went to visit with him. I went to his home, and somehow he wasn't there. I waited and waited, and somehow he wasn't showing up. So it was late, and I needed to get back home, and there was no vehicle because of where his house was where he lived. So I had to basically walk an entire stretch just to be able to get to the highway. I think around that Ojo Expressway or somewhere like that in Nigeria. It was one of the highways I needed to get there. But in order to get there, I needed to walk a long distance, and the moment I came out of his area, it started pouring. It was raining, it was cold, it was night. And I remember walking down that road, and there was a time where this vehicle just ran past me, and the whole water just splashed down from the crown of my head down. I mean, I was soaked, the water was just dumped on me. And instead of being angry or being frustrated, I remember this distinctly. I remember just saying, wow, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Why? Because I had already consumed myself with the thought of being at that level. I'd already absorbed myself with the thought of being successful. I just knew that it was only a matter of time that there's no way a vehicle will drive by and just splash me on the road, except if I'm just standing trying to cross to get to my vehicle or something. But I remember that day I just smiled. I was drenched wet, but I remembered inside I just smiled and said, it's only a matter of time. I will never forget this. I'm talking about way back in 1994. That was when this thing happened. And then I wasn't even a Christian, so I wouldn't even say it was a faith factor. It was just something that I had determined within myself because I had pictured myself being successful, and I just knew it was only a matter of time that dream will come to fruition. So I want to encourage you to start acting your future out. Start talking the way you need to talk. Start being around the people that you need to be around. You see, you may not be at their level yet. That's the key word. You may not be at their level yet, but that association puts something in you. That environment creates opportunities for you. Being around there allows you to begin to see the way they see, talking the way they talk, looking the way they look, sounding the way they sound, immediately begins to allow you to see the way and see the things that they see. If you find out, there's something I want you to remember, that a lot of successful people are always having, parties and gatherings and a lot of these things where they rub minds and plot for the future. If you have access to those platforms, I will encourage you to do so because it will help you a lot. All right, I will strongly encourage you to do that. It will help you a lot. So start acting out your future. I don't mean go and get in debt or go steal to look like other people. No. With what you have today, start acting out your future. What will happen is that your brain, your mind will subconsciously begin to associate you with that type of success, and it will automatically begin to work out a roadmap that will get you to where you need to be from where you are. All right. Now, remember, these private transformation minutes are very high level. All I'm just giving you are just tips and tricks and things that you can think about. But it is your responsibility to go dig a little bit deeper. Go read materials on these subjects so that you can be able to become proficient and become successful in the pursuit of your life's endeavors. So once again, thank you so much for joining me for yet another moment of Private Transformation Minutes. My name is Dala Alfonso. If you have not yet subscribed to this program or to my mentorship program, there's a link above this page. Click on it so that you can be a part of what we're doing, so that you can be able to learn some of the things that has helped me to become who I am today. Now, please also go ahead and share this video. Share this video. I noticed that a lot of people like, but they are not sharing. Share. You are freely received. Share with other people so that they also can benefit from it. So thank you once again and have a fantastic weekend. I will see you same time tomorrow as we continue our journey to developing a strong, positive mental attitude. Thank you and have a great evening.